Okay, I just want to start off by saying that if you're going to be making your own sun tea outside, that you should only be putting tea leaves or tea bags and water in your jar. Don't put in any sugar, don't put in any fruit, any sweeteners in there, as this will increase your chance of foodborne illness because sun tea isn't getting hot enough to kill bacteria, and you might be creating an environment where that bacteria can grow. So I'm just using water, tea leaves, and a jar in the sunlight. And another thing to think about is sun tea doesn't get hot enough to kill bacteria, so do at your own risk. But here in the Midwest, we love our sun tea, and we're going to begin. Sun tea. Okay, I keep getting requests on how I make sun tea or even what is sun tea. Now, I like to drink sun tea during the summer, and I drink it a lot during my live uploads. So what you'll need is a 2-quart mason jar, or about 1,892 milliliter jar. Some water. I used filtered water for my sink, or you can use tap water. Don't use bottled water, it's evil. And a jar lid to go on top there. And then I like to use loose leaf orange pekoe tea, about 4 tablespoons or 2 ounces, or about 60 milliliters. This makes a really, really strong tea. You might want to water it down. Or you can use a bag tea. I've used PG Tips before as a fairly good tea. Anywhere from 2 to 4 of the tea bags will make a very strong tea, and these bags will break down your compost. So anyways, I filled the jar almost all the way with water. Normally I put the tea leaves in first, but for demonstrative purposes, I'm putting it in afterward. I'm going to put my tea leaves in there. Now, they do make strainers you can put in your jar, but I like to put it in just whole loose leaf, and then you're going to see these leaves are going to unwrap or unroll, and that helps the flavor. And then I'll put a little bit of water in there because the tea will take, or the tea leaves will absorb some of the water and not give some of it back. Put your jar on. This is just an old salsa jar. You just want to make sure it's clean enough that it doesn't taste like salsa. And then I'm just going to shake it back and forth. Now, if you were doing tea bags, you just put the tea bags in there, not shake it at all. But I want to make sure that none are stuck to the lid of the jar. Now we're going to head outside on a sunny day, and it's just starting to get sunny out today. It might be kind of overcast, but this is strong enough tea. It will still brew. In the heat of the summer, it's going to make an extremely strong tea, so you might want to dial it back by about 30%. Let's head outside. Now we are surrounded by the hounds. Hello, Diesel. How are you doing? We're in the backyard. I have this place where it'll get the hottest part of the day. I don't know if it's going to be hot today. It's kind of overcast, but we should have enough sunlight to be able to brew this tea. Got our mason jar full of our filtered water, not bottled water, and then a nice jar lid so it'll seal, and our tea leaves. And we'll come back and check this in a couple hours, and it's not real bright out. Now, if you're doing this in July or June or August when it's going to be 95 to 105 degrees here in Kansas, or even hotter in some of the other United States or wherever you're living, dial this recipe back by about 30% because the heat will bring a lot more of the tea out of there, and it's going to be a lot more bitter. So here I'm using quite a bit. They're about 30% more than I would on a hot summer day. Anyways, there's Diesel, there's Mojo. My backyard's very overgrown. There's the trees. There's the clouds. The sun's up there somewhere. But anyways, let's check this in a couple hours. Okay, the sun is just barely shining. It's still behind the clouds, but if we come down here and we look, it's already starting to shine on a little bit. It's only been brewing about 10 minutes, but just even a little bit of sunlight starts to really bring the tea out. You can see the tea leaves, which are curled up before, are starting to unfurl and go out straight, and they're kind of going to move around with the heat a little bit. So we're already starting to brew with just minimal sunlight. And oh, there's the sun's coming out just a little bit more. There it is. And you can see on the back side, the sun's really starting to concentrate on that. Even with it not being hot, it's probably only 76 degrees Fahrenheit out. So it's only been 10 minutes, but it's already starting to unroll our tea leaves. Already started to change the color. So we're going to check it in 2 hours. This is truly solar powered tea. And there's Mojo and Diesel. Come here, Diesel. We have the 2 hounds. The 2 great hounds are guarding our tea. No one's gonna steal this tea. Hello, Mojo, the boxer, and Diesel, the Cane Corso mix. Ah! I'm being attacked! Ah! Okay, at about 4 hours and 20 minutes, we're starting to get some of that good golden tea color. And we're getting a little bit of sunlight. It's been overcast most of the day, but we're getting some brighter sunlight, just a touch, and it's happening nicely now. By this evening, we'll have a nice, good sun tea. Okay, I'm going to be going live here in a bit, It's somewhat bright out. It didn't get as strong as a sun tea as I would have liked. It's fairly warm. It's probably 95, 100 degrees worth of tea, and not a bad sun tea. If we had some more sunlight, it was overcast day, it'd be much, much darker, but still gonna have good flavor. Mr. Diesel is gonna come over here. He's been guarding our tea. Nobody has stolen it. We see him lurking in the background, ever watchful. Okay, now that we've got our sun tea in here, looking at it inside it, it is a little bit darker than I thought it'd be. It's got a nice reddish color. On a hot day, it's going to brew a lot stronger than this. Now, we need to get the tea leaves out. Now, if you used tea bags, you can just pull the tea bags out, screw your lid back on, and you're good to go. Pour it over ice. I used loose leaf, and we see the tea leaves have unfurled nicely. Now, what you could do is you could strain it. I could put this in another jar and pour it through them. But the method I like for straining it is this is a French press, which is a pitcher of some type, and it has hi there. My wife's trying to make me laugh. And it has some screens in it. We're going to pour it in there, and then we're going to press it down. And it doesn't actually press; it just pushes all the tea leaves down. So I'm going to try to do this without making a mess. I'm going to make a little bit of a mess, I feel like. Pour it in there. There's a hair stuck to it. Every tea needs a little bit of hair in there just to make it taste right. So we pour it in our French press, and you don't need that. You could use a screen or filter of some type. You could probably even pour it through coffee filters. But these screens go on the top here, and don't let the tea leaves get on the back side of that, demonstrating how to rock it back and forth. I'm demonstrating everything not to do. I'm going to have some tea leaves in my final product because of that mistake, but that's okay. Put it in there, and I'm just going to press down, and it's just pushing all the tea leaves to the bottom to separate them.
I was like, I know.
Now you're on camera. Got her! You heard my wife's beautiful voice. Now I took and I poured all my tea leaves into my compost here with, looks like a cut up mango and some eggshells. But anyways, I like to throw them in the garden or compost them. I didn't have an extra jar, so I washed this jar out to try to be free of the tea leaves. We have our filtered or strained tea, and you just pour it in there. Pour it back in the jar. It's a very satisfying sound. Not as strong as tea as it would have been if it was 90 to 100 degrees. I don't even think it got above 80 today. Did not get warm here in Kansas. Some people may consider that warm, but that is not a warm Kansas day. The warmth is coming. And you see, I can actually hold this for a while, and tea will continue to drip out of it because there's a lot of tea left in those leaves, the whole little bit of leaves. That's why I try to fill it all the way to the top. Now my tea's ready. I'm just going to let this sit at room temperature. If I'm drinking it within 6 or 8 hours, I don't even refrigerate it. I'll just keep this at room temperature and pour it over ice and drink it for my live upload. But that's how I make my sun tea. Now on a hotter day, you're going to use a little bit less tea and get stronger product. But anyways, solar powered tea. Love y'all. Okay, I went ahead and just for the end here, I brewed up some tea on a nice sunshiny day. Look at that beautiful reddish copper color. This is how it turns out when you have sunshine nearly all day and 80-degree temperatures. Harp out!